Again, 6 people were killed, at least 10 were injured, and our Madison Wade is on the scene right now. She has spoke to family members of the victims. Madison, what have you learned this morning?
Hey, what's up, man?
Monica, yeah, we are right here outside of the mass shooting situation in the scene that is still unfolding at this hour. Again, this is such a horrible tragedy that we are continuing to cover. I just walked down the street a little bit. I saw a man in a security guard jacket. It said security on the back. So I was curious if he was someone who worked in this area when this shooting happened. And right when I approached him and started to talk to him, he told me that his son, Devasier Turner, I'm working to pull up a photo right now so you can see a picture of him. He told me that Devasier Turner, 29 years old, is a victim in this mass shooting. He said that he is from the Vacaville, or lives in the Vacaville area, from Sacramento. He was out here with some friends last night. The father's name is Frank Turner, and he told me his son Devasier. Here's a photo of him that I have tweeted out so you can see for yourself. Now, he is one of the 6 victims, according to his father. Again, just a horrible situation. I really had no idea that he was a family member involved in this until I walked up and talked to him. And he was waiting for official confirmation, but he says that he told me his son is one of the victims. And I want to bring in our Luke Clary now. Luke, you've been out here all morning long. You also talked to another family of another victim at length. You've been waiting for information with Sacramento police as well. So tell us more about that conversation.
Sure, Madison. Thank you. And we were one of the first crews here on the scene at this mass shooting in downtown Sacramento. I can tell you that there was a small group of people that gradually grew. We came to find out that those were people that had gotten phone calls from other members of their family that someone that they loved may have been involved in this shooting downtown. I spoke at length with a man by the name of Fred Harris, and he told me that he was concerned that his son, Sergio, may have been among the victims. He said that he got a call from his daughter and came here right away. And in fact, he was able to get even closer inside there before the police line came out to this street where we stand now. You also heard, though, from Fred Harris's wife, Pamela Harris, and their daughter-in-law, Leticia. When we learned the confirmation from Sacramento police was provided to Pamela Harris, we were there as that moment unfolded. We have a few thoughts from Pamela Harris as she was waiting hours of agonizing wait to learn what had happened to her son.
My brother came and picked me up. My daughter called and they said there was a shooting and they get down here. That's it.
Can you tell us about your husband?
He loved his kids. He was a happy person. That's for sure. He just loved living life and trying to make a difference, making a mark on himself, being better.
What was he doing down here last night?
At the club like everybody else, having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Was he with friends?
I don't know who he was with.
You know which club he was at?
London. He holds a gold card there, so he goes there a lot.
How many kids do you folks have?
He has 3 kids.
And so you just heard from the family of Sergio Harris, one of the 6 victims in this mass shooting. Stevonte Clark standing right there, side by side with the family members. That was Leticia Harris, the wife of Sergio Harris. Again, one of the 6 victims. We know now 2 of them that have been confirmed by their families, and there are 4 other families that are going to be getting similar notices from police and from the coroner's office in due time. I know, Madison, you've spoken with Stevonte Clark in the last couple of hours, so he also brings quite a perspective to something like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Stevonte Clark told me, he lost his brother Stevonte Clark at the hands of Sacramento police. We know that as we've covered that extensively. He also shared that his other brother was lost in gun violence. So he told me, Luke, like through this process, there is just so much unknown and so much uncertainty that you may experience when you're trying to figure out if your loved one is part of this. We do know the city of Sacramento has asked all family members who are involved, whether they're victims or whether they were wounded in this shooting, to go to City Hall. That's where victim services will be provided. But so Stevonte just told me that at this moment, it may just be a confusing and chaotic circumstance to be in. And so he's working to provide help through the I Am SAC Foundation. He told me that a prayer gathering and prayer vigil will be happening sometime later this evening. And of course, we know this is a very busy start to the Sunday. We know there's a Kings game happening just blocks away later tonight. So once we know more information about the prayer gathering and the vigil, we'll be sure to bring it to you. But Luke, a horrible situation out here this morning in downtown Sacramento, a tragic mass shooting claiming the lives of 6 people, 10 in the hospital as of right now. We are just learning names and stories of some of those who were killed.
Yeah, we are. I mean, one thing that I can just tell you is, having been here since the early morning hours, you start to kind of get to know the folks who are just sort of waiting for the potentially grim or saddening or really shocking and earth-shattering news for their family. I can tell you that this has been incredibly difficult for the folks that have just been kind of waiting in limbo, hoping for an answer one way or the other. It's almost as if the not knowing is actually worse than the terrible news that they may learn. But we were there as, the Harris family got that notification from Sacramento police, finally got word, and again, just a devastating moment for all of the families involved here, Madison.
Absolutely. And so we're going to stay here on scene. Again, we are at 9th, correct? Yes, just want to double check. 9th and K. Again, this scene is very large. Several blocks are blocked off right now. Sacramento police are still investigating behind us. Several command posts have been set up. So we'll continue to bring you updates throughout the day right here on ABC 10. We'll send it back to you, Monica, now in the newsroom.
Just heartbreaking to hear, and also for you to describe who those victims were: fathers, husbands, community members. Just devastating. Thank you, Madison.